We are happy that exports are happening. We are happy that companies are making profits. We are happy that exports are giving them that kind of returns on the investment, which is so required for anybody who does the exports. But these are extraordinary times. These are times when the oil prices internationally are unbridled. They are just going on and on upwards. And for any country like India, for instance, which depends largely and very much largely on imports, we also need to pay that kind of money to get the imports. But when from India exports are happening and at a price which is abnormal, extraordinary profits. We don't grudge people earning profits. But at a time when we don't have enough supplies within India for also the exploration or for the refining which is happening in India, I'm glad also to say here that India is now becoming a refining hub. We want that to continue. We want that kind of an activity to be invested in. But yet, you also have seen, and you have reported in the media, that some of the private pump outlets which deal with people, consumers, some of them wholesale consumers, are now not supplying for domestic consumption. So the wholesale customers who were benefiting from those pumps were now coming over to the public sector, oil marketing companies' pumps, and they're welcome to come in there. But the supplies are also going to have to be available. For India, we buy it from different places, trying to see where we can get it at cost-effective ways, and also making sure the excise duty is cut down so that the burden on the ordinary citizen is not there. But with all this being done, if oil is not being available and they are being exported, good they are exported, but are exported with such phenomenal profits, good for earning profits, but extraordinary times. We need at least some of it for our own citizens. And that is why we've taken this twin-pronged approach. It is not to discourage exports. It's not to discourage India as a refining hub. It's certainly not against profit earning, but extraordinary times do require. If you probably, you know it already, but I will say this. India does not produce much of gold at all. In fact, I can say nil ke barabar. Yeah? So you're importing, you're paying foreign exchange, you're importing a not so essential commodity, but of course gold is inelastic in its demand. So you would want to see whether you can at least try to discourage to that extent people importing, or if you're importing and you still want to import, please pay up that much more so that the country can have some revenue.
Rupee outlook, ma'am.
I'm confident on the rupee that the Reserve Bank of India is very keenly watching the exchange rate. I had commented yesterday, and I repeat that we are not alone in this world. We are also open an economy. Maybe not completely on capital account, but we are also open as an economy. So developments happening everywhere will have an impact on us. But you're equally aware that the rupee versus the dollar and other currencies versus the dollar, rupee has performed relatively better. And therefore, with Reserve Bank keeping a keen eye, we are, at least the governors, periodically in touch with me, giving me inputs about how Reserve Bank is monitoring the situation. So on the exchange rate of the rupee, I am confident that the Reserve Bank and together with the Ministry of Finance, we are keeping a good eye on it. Yes, what it would have as an impact immediately is imports will become expensive. Because your rupee, you'll have to pay more. Imports will become expensive. And that is one thing which I'm very watchful and mindful about, because a lot of our industries do depend on some more essential goods to be imported upon.
And ma'am,
If the prices of the oil, if the prices of fertilizers are all which are being imported can come down as well, if food security issues can be addressed as well. Always, Prime Minister is very sensitive to the people in the ground and their needs in the ground. So if, as and when I can give relief, I love to give relief. But we also are facing huge import bills for oil, huge fertilizer costs, huge, thank God, in the recent past, commodities, particularly metals, are coming down. So we are very much as we want to be integrated with the global economy, also affected because of the fluctuations in the globe. You see, so long I have told you, the justification for taking a decision of this kind is because we are in an extraordinary time. We are at a time where there is difficulty even to get at an affordable price oil from abroad. India also has some kind of an extraction happening, but India is also importing a lot and also refining a lot and also exporting a lot. I also should keep India's consumer in mind. We want India to become a refining hub, but therefore, because the thumb rule or the situation assessment is that we are in extraordinary times, that partly answers your question.